So the Center for Rural Affairs empowered tribal members like myself to have an employment. Being the orchard specialist, that was a big deal for me, and I was proud of doing that job. My sister was the head of the community garden, and I think she's done that for years and enjoys doing it. She's had her family helping her do it, as I had my daughters helping me, water trees and plant trees. So that's just like a small step. It'd be awesome for more people to be involved.
By providing education. So part of the education would be the community garden, where we can have people come in and provide classes to show them how to start gardens, to talk about weeding, to talk about ways that they can make weeding easier, putting cardboard down, or any of the gardening tricks that we learn, we share with people in the community. So we're empowering them and providing food sovereignty by teaching them how to grow their own food. With that, we will come around and till gardens and come around and do education throughout the season to keep the gardens going. And then there's even classes about how you can prepare your food. And if you have a large amount, and you're not just going to share it and you want to save it, then we've done canning and freezing classes so that they're able to carry that on throughout the winter.
Through our collaboration projects, I met a gentleman. His name is Ted Hibbler, and he's the UNL Extension Officer. And him and I and the Center for Rural Affairs, and we all collaborated together. That first year we put that garden in at Omaha Nation, and then he got a program going called Nation Nourishment. And through this Nation Nourishment project, my children all got involved in it, and they got certificates from that project for attending for 1 year. And then the following year, the Center for Rural Affairs hired them as seasonal workers. And we were all able to garden together. I think we put in like 4 gardens together. And then my sons, they know how to plant these Three Sisters gardens, and they help community members in the summertime tend their gardens and grow food. So, I mean, it's all been successful because every time we always are learning about what grows well, how to bring it into the school. At Omaha Nation, we started with our little garden, and the Omaha tribe went and gifted the school, the students, 7 acres, where one of the Center for Rural Affairs workers, her name was Susie French, she came and she spent the whole summer with us gardening down there and helping us with the students. She helped them grow a Three Sisters garden. So that's why I learned how to learn the Three Sisters garden was from one of the workers from Center for Rural Affairs. Yeah, so we started growing all this food, and now we're here at Santee School, where I'm working as a culinary teacher. We're learning to put our food into recipes to gain our knowledge back of our traditional foods, to gain the wisdom, relearn about eating food that's healthy for us. One of our collaboration projects is with Christine Fleinhock, and her and another gentleman by name of Anthony Warrior developed these recipes, and we've cooked those recipes in the classroom.
So through the Healthy Eating initiatives, students are able to come in the summers, and they are able to learn how to make traditional foods as well as healthy foods for themselves, so that they're not reliant upon the adults at home. They are also able to try different foods throughout the year. I believe we had a crunch-off that provided several different varieties of apples to be tried by the students.
So after CFRA was in the school for the crunch-off, students became very excited. They wanted apples for snack. Many students and parents shared that when they went to the grocery store, kids were picking out their favorite types of apples, sharing what each apple tasted like, and then many kids tried the recipe that you guys shared.
I guess some of my successful projects that I've had while I worked for the gardening program would be just having a large garden and having surplus that we are able to share with the community and provide education while sharing. So if we do a class where we are teaching canning, then people get to take some of that those vegetables home. Another one of our successful projects, I would say, is having the grow tower in my classroom. We took the spinach that we grew as a class, and also we did activities with it. So they all had to pick a plant. So they had to draw their plant when it first started, and they come really small. And we measured them weekly, so it gave them a task. So I brought it in with education and with measurement, and we just talked about the health benefits of the different vegetables and why they're good for you. And then we had a presenter come in, and they made spinach smoothies. And the kids really liked the spinach smoothies, and it was, so you went and had something that they had never had before. Most of them had never thought about eating spinach, and now they're trying new foods because they're available in our classroom.
Well, I know about the orchard project because that's what I've been directly involved in. And I also know about the community garden, which I helped work in a little the first year that I was on as the orchard specialist. Both a step in the right direction towards food sovereignty. I mean, a long way to go. To go from there to get to grow both of these. The garden can probably be bigger. The orchard could. We should actually have an orchard. Honestly, instead of just randomly, placed, plants and things. But that's there's a both step in the right direction. And how do you go from there? I don't know. I mean, it's we could have like grow the orchard, one centrally located orchard with a water source that is always there, so we don't have to bring water to the plants. That would be a big step for the orchard. And we probably more training on how to take care of these plants would be a thing. How to prevent insects and all the different pests and maybe plant diseases that can affect the way the crops grow. That's there's a lot of issues that I don't know about. I know someday this stuff's going to be usable. The fruit and things. Right now these are all none of them produce anything, but someday this fruit will be usable, and I hope that the community or members of the community for sure partake in using the fruit.
And I'm looking forward to the future of putting a garden here at Santee School, so we can have gardens here and the kids can learn about food sovereignty, and it can all the science and things that it goes with it. And Center for Rural Affairs is very important in that because they support that.
In the future, I would love to see our tribe join with CFRA and have like a sweet corn field where we have a field that's large enough where we can harvest that as a community and then have the food available either in our commodity center or even just available for all people in the community when we have services or community gatherings. I would also love to see, I got to go to Pine Ridge at some point and observe some of the programs they have, and they have chickens. So I would love to see that be something that we bring to our community, where we have then eggs available and poultry available for the community. Another thing I would like to see are greenhouses and some of those high tunneled greenhouses. Some ways that we can have food growing all throughout the winter and keep the programs going. I know NICC started a greenhouse, and then maybe even partnering with other community services that we have already so that we can keep the food going throughout the winter.
So as we move forward, I think a stronger partnership with CFRA, having you guys in our building more often, taking advantage of some of the different opportunities that you guys can provide for our kids, whether it's through you guys coming in and doing things with our students or like the grow towers, the greenhouses, things like that.
the Santee people, when we were placed on the reservation in Crow Creek, we had 300 children die from starvation in one winter. And that stays with me. And that's part of why I do this work, to honor my ancestors, the struggle that they went through for us to be alive today. I'm really grateful for that. And so I try to live my life every day to the fullest. Excuse me. I live it to the fullest. And it's hard work. Gardening isn't easy, but it's very fulfilling, especially when you're able to bring it full circle, put it in the ground and bring it home to your family and cook for your family. And you see your family enjoying that, you know that this is our food. This is what our ancestors ate. This is what they brought to the world. And the history of, I'm always talking to our students about the history of the corn, the squash, the beans, the bison, reclaiming our indigenous wisdom of how powerful and knowledgeable our ancestors were, that they lived here sustainably in this land for thousands of years. And less than 200 years, the plains, we have all these problems that we have to deal with the soil, with all the pesticides and herbicides that are being poured into the ground, that's going into our groundwater. There's a better way to do things because our ancestors found a way, and we just need to look back into the past and figure that out.
You want to be self-sufficient. I think we have some things in place that we have a cattle ranch, we have buffalo. But we need more. We need to know how to butcher these items and how to store them so that people can use them. And the same goes with our gardens, with our orchard. It goes to everything about being sovereign. That means, to me, it means being self-sufficient, where we have everything we need right in our community in Santee, Nebraska.